I'm joined now by Ahal Besorai, whose sister, Yonat Or, went missing from Kibbutz Be'eri with her husband and two of her children. And Yonat has now been confirmed dead while her family is still missing. And Ahal, my deepest condolences to you. I'm so terribly sorry that you've been through all of this over the last week, and then in the last couple of days, is it that you've had it confirmed to you that your sister has died?
Yeah, last Friday.
And so talk us through the experience you've had over the last week or so, knowing that your sister has passed away and the rest of her family, your family, are still missing.
Yeah. So it all started on October 7th, with the terrorist attack on Israel by Hamas. My sister and her husband and two children, a boy 15 and a daughter 13, was seen pulled out of the burning house. And the assumption was, because they have not been shot on site, that they were taken hostages. Few days later, we got confirmation from the Israeli military that my sister's mobile phone was traced to Gaza, which strengthened our belief that they might be in Hamas hands. And then last Friday, we got the devastating news that my sister she didn't really pass away. She was murdered by Hamas terrorists. I took the first flight and landed in Israel to spend time with my dad, who is 89, was also on Kibbutz Be'eri. Kibbutz Be'eri is actually the kibbutz where I was born and brought up, so I know the place, I know everybody there. It's a very small community, still very traditional. Everybody is in the dining room. My dad hid in the safety room for 13 hours until he was evacuated to safety, and he's okay. And my middle sister for 24 hours until she was evacuated, and she's okay as well. I mean, shocked by okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the story.
Sorry, go ahead. No, please finish the thought.
So my sister has another son who is 17, who was not with them. He was volunteering in the north to work with a disadvantaged youth center, and he was spared, but obviously is devastated. Not that his mom is dead, and obviously his father and two siblings are missing.
I can't even imagine what he's going through, indeed what you're going through as well. And the crazy position we are in, I guess, means you must be praying that your sister's husband and two kids are hostages. It seems like an awful thing to be praying for.
Yeah, it is very bizarre and surreal situation. But, I think that if they are alive, even in the heads of this hideous organization, ISIS-like, Nazi-like organization, they are still alive. And, they might be rescued by Israeli forces or released in some sort of way, So when there is hope, I'd rather be on the side of hope than on the side of despair and giving up. And yeah, it is bizarre, but we do hope that they are alive and in the hands of Hamas terrorists, as weirdly as that might sound.
And do you take a modicum more hope from the fact that 4 hostages have been released in recent days?
I have mixed feelings about it, because for me, it's probably some sort of a psychological ploy by Hamas, as your previous commentator said, to delay Israeli. And I have very little trust in this organization. I'm now in Israel. I've seen and heard the atrocities that they perpetrated on my kibbutz and in other kibbutzim. Also, when I was looking, to get more signs of my sister's whereabouts, I was flicking through all these Hamas channels and all these videos of, unbelievable cruelty and babies beheaded and women raped, and it's just atrocious, and I want to if I may, to make maybe a bigger observation here. I sense that Hamas also hijacked another something else, and this is the Palestinian cause. And I think the Palestinian rallying behind Hamas, as happens in London and in the States to some extent, is a serious disservice to the cause of having their own state one day. Because they are rallying behind a vicious Islamist radical organization that all it wants to do is destroy Israel, kill indiscriminately, as they did, not just saying it, as they did in my kibbutz and in other kibbutzim, old people, children, babies, opening the wombs of pregnant women and pulling out the baby and stabbing it. I mean, it's horrendous. So, I hope, that maybe there will be some sort of a new order in the Middle East as a result of all this mess. That organization like Hamas and Hezbollah, which are really extremist, terrorist Islamic organization, will be eliminated. Iran will be tamed. Because really Iran is the elephant in the room, because they are probably the octopus and these are the tentacles. Hamas, Hezbollah is all in a way proxies of Iran. And then, there will be some sort of a peace like Israel was trying to do with Saudi, and some prosperity in the Middle East, as a result of all this. Gaza will be rebuilt after Hamas is eliminated. It can be the Monaco of the Middle East. Lebanon could be built if it's not under the auspices of Hezbollah, under the, this vicious organization. Maybe they can build it into something beautiful it used to be. And then, we have
Ahal, just forgive me, because we're nearly out of time, and I just wanted to, if I may, just to wrap things up, Ahal, and ask you if, and you don't have to do this, because I completely understand how difficult it must be, or I don't understand. But Ahal, you obviously hope that your brother-in-law and his two kids are still alive, as we discussed, and are hostages at this stage. If they were watching, or even if they're not, do you have a message for them?
I wish they are strong. We are doing everything we can to put the story forward, to put some sort of pressure on Hamas, to release them, at least the children. They are innocent. 13-year-old daughter just had a bat mitzvah and a son. So at least out of humanitarian reasons, maybe out of Islam sort of religion reasons, they will find a place in their hearts to release them. And for Drori and for Noam and for Alma, just be strong and keep together and pray, because we are with you, and we do everything in our power to bring you home back safe.
Ahal, thank you so much for joining us.